The USAID Safe Water Project aims to improve water security in vulnerable communities in the Philippines. By 2024, this partnership will have realized the following changes. Water service providers are serving better more people through improved quality of water supply and sanitation services. Local governments and stakeholders together, planning and raising support for water supply and sanitation programs. Government and communities actively work together to monitor and manage watersheds, forest, and water resources for long-term sustainability. Committed private sector partners serve as economic stewards of water resources, and private financing institutions also invest in constructed assets that underpin water security. Finally, water-wise households, informed and efficient water users, claim the right for better services and participate in decision-making towards a water-secure future.
The Philippine Disaster Resilience Foundation is the country's major private sector driver and coordinator for disaster resilience. As an alliance of businesses dedicated to building the disaster risk management capabilities of the private sector in the country, PDRF aims to contribute to the sustainable development and the general welfare of the Philippine sector driver and coordinator for disaster. Since its establishment in 2009, PDRF has worked closely with member companies, government agencies, and other stakeholders in the areas of disaster preparedness, sustainable development, and response, and recovery. Today, PDRF continues to pave the way both here and abroad. Through its growing partnerships with member companies and other stakeholders, PDRF becomes one step closer to building a stronger, resilient Philippines. Today, PDRF continues to pave the way both here.
In a year of crisis and uncertainty, Manila Water rises with every ripple we create, where we focus on modernization for maximum efficiency and responsiveness. Our round-the-clock operations are supported with different platforms for seamless customer service. Manila Water's expansion creates an ocean of synergy, strength, and stability. We continue to develop infrastructure to ensure access to potable and reliable water supply, as well as wastewater services for the growing population. And our sustainability bond becomes the springboard of our collective future. All of this is tied together with the signing of the revised concession agreement for the growing population. This is Manila Water, and together we create the ripples that evolve into the waves of the future. All of this is tied together with the signing of the revised concession agreement.
Mahirap ang tubig dito kasi maghihintay ka yung pag dumarating ikaw ang mag-asikaso papantayan mo.
Ako ay nagsimula na wala kami tubig, wala pa sa mga tao na isang linggo bumisan wala akong tubig.
Dahil sa tulong pinansyal na ito ng Maynilad sa PDA, na ikakatuparan ang proyekto dito sa Talagagong.
Sa tulong ng Manila na TPA, kami ay nagkaroon ng tinatawag na Community Development Bank.
Hanggang ngayon, maayos na ang aming lugar, may tubig na kami.
Ang bubon sa tupad na niya sa pa nga may turugban. Nagamantinir na lang sa amo nga tubig nga bisan daw higko ang sa tupad niya kung kisa bala daw ang yan nga tubig gasulod sa may bubon. Ti ginabutangan na lang namong chlorine para lang maputi ng tubig kag madula ang yang tina.
Agos is the expression of the commitment of the Coca-Cola Foundation to water stewardship. We do this by bringing water to the communities that do not have water.
Ang po, pagambal nga may tubig nga ang agsi, interesado kami kami nga na mapati, kasubong. Pagkatapos, pag kami, ari ng tubig sa amin. Kaya thank you sa Coca-Cola.
We believe there are infinite ways to make the world better. Infinite legacies. Infinite tomorrows to ask, what difference can we make today? The futures we design. The communities we raise. The culture we create. The planet we save. We believe that with Smart Infinity's dedicated support and limitless data, calls, and text, we hold the power to keep making the world better forever. It's simple. We believe impact is infinite.
QBO? Cubo?
It actually just stands for Kubo, as in the Bahay Kubo. And yes, we do have our very own Bahay Kubo in our office.
Just like the Bahay Kubo, we stand for Bayanihan or teamwork. Kubo is a place where the community can come together to help ideas flourish, showcase Filipino innovation, and build great companies.
Together,
Let's build
The Philippine
Startup Community!
We created Idea Space in 2012 so that the Philippines could take part in this startup revolution.
The startups, all of you, you're the ones who make the magic happen. It's just helped by the Formula One team of these wonderful mentors. They come in and give so much of their personal time. Thank you very much, mentors.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us here today.
This meeting is being recorded.
I would just like to ask everybody to please sit back because our program will begin in 1 minute.
Water. It seems like a limitless resource. But did you know that 1 in every 10 Filipinos lacks access to safe drinking water? 1 in every 5 water utilities provides piped water supply. 1 in every 25 Filipinos practice open defecation, and 23 of 25 Filipinos' households do not have access to sewerage systems. Do you want to help? There is something you can do. Introducing the Philippine Water Challenge by USAID, PDRF, Manila Water, and Maynilad. We're looking for people or organizations who can address the biggest challenges our country has with water and sanitation. If you have a working solution to these problems but need support to improve it and upscale its implementation, this is the platform for you. The winners will each get a cash prize and the coaching of experts from these organizations to enhance your solution. How cool is that? With the Philippine Water Challenge, you hold the key to innovative solutions towards bringing Filipinos better access to clean and safe water and sanitation. Sign up at pdrf.org/Philippine Water Challenge and let us help you expand your solutions to 1 Filipino household at a time.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the virtual launching of the Philippine Water Challenge, the first ever online and national platform to generate promising innovations for water supply and sanitation solutions in the country. My name is Tin Gamboa, and I'm going to be your host for today. Before we do anything else, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our esteemed guests and the rest of our participants, starting with USAID Acting Mission Director Sean Callahan, NEDA Assistant Secretary Eric Planta, PDRF President Rene Butch-Maley, PDRF Executive Director Veronica Gabaldon, Maynilad Senior Assistant Vice President Roel S. Espiritu, Manila Water Company COO Abelardo P. Basilio, Manila Water Group Director for Corporate Operations Arnold Jether A. Mortera. We also have Coca-Cola Foundation Philippines Incorporated President Maria Cecilia Alcantara, the head of Economic and Commercial Mission of the Embassy of Israel in the Philippines, Tomer Havey. I hope I'm saying this correctly. If I'm not, please feel free to correct me. Charge d'Affaires of the Embassy of Israel in the Philippines, Nir Balzam. USAID Safe Water Project Chief of Party, Alma Porciuncula. And of course, good morning as well to all the other VIPs present and all our online guests and participants. Thank you once again so much for being here with us this morning. Now for our opening remarks, I would like to welcome Mr. Sean Callahan, USAID Acting Mission Director.
Okay, I'm going to take this off. Good morning. I represent the U.S. Agency for the International Development, more commonly known as USAID. USAID is the lead U.S. government agency that provides development and humanitarian assistance to partner countries such as the Philippines. I am pleased to join you all here today for the official launch of the Philippine Water Challenge. USAID is proud to join the Philippine Disaster Resilience Foundation, Maynilad Water Services, Inc., and the Manila Water Company as we continue working towards our shared goal of providing a water-secure future for all Filipinos. The Philippines faces significant water challenges. More than 12 million Filipinos do not have access to clean drinking water, and many water utilities struggle with technical and financial constraints that prevent the delivery of safe water to communities where it is most needed. In addition, millions of households still do not have access to sewage or sewage treatment facilities, while 4 million Filipinos lack toilets in their homes. Access to adequate water supplies and sanitation services improves lives, reduces risk to waterborne diseases, and prevents transmission of COVID-19 infections in our homes. It also strengthens the resilience of families and communities to fight the adverse impacts of climate change, especially droughts, typhoons, and flooding that could disrupt food supplies, livelihoods, and incomes. Today, I am proud to kick off the Philippine Water Challenge, or PhilWC, the first ever online platform for generating innovations and solutions to addressing pressing and emerging water security challenges here in the Philippines. Through this initiative, we hope to elicit new ideas and creative solutions and bring them to scale fast. These initiatives represent an important step in helping the Philippines advance in its efforts to achieve the Sustainable Development Goal of delivering water supply and sanitation services to every Filipino. I would like to thank the National Economic and Development Authority, also known as NEDA, through their leadership of Assistant Secretary Eric Planta. Your continued support of the Safe Water Project enables and enhances the Philippine Water Challenge as a collective action. I'd also like to acknowledge the Embassy of Israel here in the Philippines, the Coca-Cola Foundation Philippines, and Smart Communications Incorporated for joining in this ambitious undertaking. Phil WC would not have been possible without your support, which is a resounding testament of your solidarity, commitment, and partnership to help the Philippines achieve long-term water security. In closing, I wish to highlight the power of innovation and creativity in increasing water security services in the Philippines. These innovative solutions can be catalysts that deliver real and lasting benefits, especially for the most vulnerable and underserved communities. I look forward to these innovations scaled up and piloted in provinces across the country, including Palawan, Negros Occidental, and Sarangani, where our safe water projects work now. With this year's 75th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between the United States and the Philippines, and the 60th anniversary of USAID here in the Philippines, I'm truly happy and inspired by this incredible partnership that we have established here today. I'm confident that this collaboration can catalyze and drive individuals and organizations to develop unique, sustainable, and lasting solutions to the country's water challenges. Maraming salamat, and I wish you all a successful Philippines Water Challenge. Thank you.
Maraming salamat din po, USAID Acting Mission Director Sean Callahan. Up next, I would like to introduce the Assistant Director General in NEDA, in charge of infrastructure policy, plans, and programs. He is the champion within the government for the Philippine Water Supply and Sanitation Master Plan and the new financing policy for the sector, the Unified Resource Allocation Framework. Please welcome ASEC Roderick Eric Planta, NEDA Assistant Secretary. Sorry, ASEC, I think you are on mute.
Thank you, Tin. Maulan na araw pa rin po sa Metro Manila, pero magandang araw po sa ating lahat. Pagbati po muna sa ating mga panauhing pandangal, gaya po nila USAID Acting Mission Director Sean Callahan, PDRF President Jose Rene Butch Mayley, Maynilad Senior Assistant Vice President Roel Espiritu, Manila Water Company COO Abelardo Basilio, Manila Water Group Director for Corporate Operations, Arnold Mortera, Coca-Cola Foundation Philippines Inc. President, Maria Cecilia Alcantara, at si Mr. Tomar Havey, Head of Economic and Commercial Mission of the Embassy of Israel in the Philippines. Pagbati din po sa ating mga online guests and participants. Magandang araw po ulit sa ating lahat. Many thanks for inviting me and NEDA on the occasion of this official virtual launch of the Philippine Water Challenge, the first such initiative in this country. I'm also here to represent the more than 30 government agencies in the water resources sector, working among others in making the SDG 6 goals, meaning access to safe water and sanitation for all, a reality in the country. On their behalf, I commend and support this initiative to generate innovations and solutions to improve and expand access to water supply and sanitation services. Fun fact po, as in the water resources sector, our consensus is that the convergence or amalgamation of the so many institutions is essential. Kaya po namin pinapanakwala po yung mga single apex bodies natin gaya ng Department of Water Resources at saka yung Water Regulatory Commission. But this additional institution po, the Philippine Water Challenge, is an institution that government would like to flourish. From our understanding of this initiative, It celebrates innovation, partnership, at stakeholder participation. Marami pa po towards a common vision. Ito nga pong SDG 6. My friends, we're technically less than 10 years away shy of 2030, our target to achieve our SDG commitment. For our part, government will soon launch the recently completed Philippine Water Supply and Sanitation Master Plan. Sneak peek po, meron po kaming 8 key results areas, and one of those key result area is an research and development, driving research, development, and innovations kasama po sa Philippine Water Supply and Sanitation Master Plan. And also, a rough estimate of the resource requirements to achieve that master plan, meaning universal access to water supply and sanitation by 2030, is about 1 trillion pesos, meaning mga roughly 100 billion a year po investments in the sector. Resources po na too heavy for government to bear on its own. So it's really refreshing to see that this initiative can possibly leverage resources to help us again achieve our SDG 6 targets. So I share the thought of the USAID acting mission director that innovations are powerful catalysts or game changers, especially if they are innovations identified by the stakeholders themselves. Sila po yung mga naka-experience the challenges directly. And they can help us also leapfrog from our current levels of service and access to our goal of universal access to safe water and sanitation services. So maraming salamat po ulit sa USAID, sa PDRF, Philippine Disaster Resilience Foundation, Maynilad Water Services Inc., Manila Water Company for shepherding also the water challenge. Maraming salamat rin po sa Embassy of Israel in the Philippines, the Coca-Cola Foundation, Smart Communication 6 as sponsors of this challenge. We eagerly look forward to the solutions that the Philippine Water Challenge will generate, and government will also be here continuously towards our common SDG 6 vision. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Back to you, team.
Thank you so much, ASEC Eric Planta, NEDA Assistant Secretary. Before we move on with our program, we would like to request for a photo op. So can we please request for everybody to please turn on your cameras and show your beautiful smiles, morning smiles to the camera. Ayan. Let's all turn on our cameras, please. Okay, are we complete? Are all the cameras turned on? Please let me know if we are ready. I'm going to count it down so we can all flash our happiest pro water smiles for our cameras. Can I do a countdown now? Yes? Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Smile. And then let's do one more just for safety. Okay, are we ready? 3, 2, 1, and smile. I would also like to request for our virtual audience to take screenshots of yourselves and your participation. And you can, of course, post this, post all of your photos on social media, be it on Facebook, Twitter, on Instagram. And you can tag USAID Philippines, PDRF, Manila Water, Maynilad, and please don't forget to use our official hashtag #WaterChallengePHL. Thank you very much for granting my request to take a photo op. Right now, I'm going to be introducing a video excerpt from NEDA's video entitled Flowing Forward, the Philippine Water Supply and Sanitation Master Plan, in which we will be highlighting the water supply and sanitation challenges in the Philippines. Please watch this.
The story of water and sanitation in the Philippines is largely unappreciated, and it is time to open our eyes to the reality of the situation.
Pagtuo namon ha bomba, paglaba, ligo, pagparigo ha atabay. Atabay kami nakuha. Kay makuri lalo na pag tag-araw makuri ha amon itubig.
Yung ginagamit po namin dito ngayon is yung kuya ko na nag-iigib sa truck. Yun po, yung kung napapansin niyo yung truck kanina diyan, po yung nagso-supply ng tubig. Pag wala naman yon, pag sira, halimbawa sira, doon po sa yung tinatawag namin sa loysoy. Yung iba naman dito sa puso.
Doon sa may tangke, iniinom na lang namin yun. Hindi pinapakuluan. Doon na kami kukuha ng panlaba, pansaing at saka pang-inom. Bali, kailangan talaga alas 4 ng madaling araw, gigising ka para makapag-igib.
Apart from water supply, sanitation is also an issue in both far-flung areas and communities in the metro.
Ang siarhan amon ugangan, ang simento, ang didalahan mayda, ang mayda, binubutangan handball, tona la ngadto, waray simento ang sulodhan CR, ang didalahan bawbaw ang sinimento.
Dito po sa City Pag-asa, hindi po lahat ng bahay ay walang CR po. Yung iba sa damuhan, yung iba flying social na lang.
Lack of septic treatment and sewage collection facilities also poses a threat of contaminating water sources.
Ang safety tank namin, hindi pa namin yun napapasip-sip dahil hindi pa naman din puno.
Ang iniisip ko lang talaga na kung saan napupunta yung dumi sa Puso Negro namin, sa ilalim talaga ng lupa. Ayun yung iniisip ko dahil di naman siya as naka-silyo yung ilalim. Hindi naka-flooring, lupa lang. Kaya as pag tag-araw, siguro sumisip-sip na lang siya doon, yung tubig. Tapos yung ibang dumi natutuyo na lang.
Further adding to the problem of inadequate water supply and sanitation services, the country is also experiencing water stress with overall water availability per capita per year of only 1,446 cubic meters, with only 1,700 cubic meters as the minimum threshold. The country is also projected to experience a high degree of water shortage in 2040, assuming a business-as-usual scenario continues.
The Philippine Water Challenge will respond to two challenge themes that represent the biggest and most pressing challenges that the Philippines is facing in terms of the water and sanitation situation in the country. These include Theme 1, Solutions for Effective and Efficient Water Supply Management, and Theme 2, Solutions for Community Access to Safe Sanitation Facilities. And now I will present to you the speakers who will each represent our said challenge theme. Starting with Theme 1 will be handled by Attorney Roel Espiritu Sr., the Senior Assistant Vice President and Head of the Quality, Sustainability, and Resiliency Division of the Maynilad Water Services Incorporated. And Theme 2 will be Sir Alan Roy Ortiz, the Department Head, Business Continuity Solutions of Manila Water. And now I will ask our virtual audience to join us as participants or to endorse other individuals or organizations to the Philippine Water Challenge. Everybody, please listen to the 1-minute animated video to learn more about the application process. But before that, we will now talk about our themes.
Maginahawang umaga sa ating lahat. Good morning to everyone in this conference. Good morning to Sir Asek Eric Panata, Sir Butch Mailey, our friends from USAID and also from the Embassy of Israel, and also our friends and neighbors from Manila Water and the rest of the participants here. So let me share to you some numbers These are the numbers that already been mentioned in terms of our data here in the Philippines. Can we share the slide, please? So, as mentioned a while ago, we have 1 out of 10 Filipinos still lack access to safe drinking water. Next. 2 of every 10 municipalities, so that's about 1,600 municipalities are considered still waterless. And third, only 1 of every 5 water utilities provide pipe water supply in the country. The importance of addressing water supply issues is quite obvious. It is essential to ensure the health and well-being of our people, and also its importance in the overall nation building, people development, and national progress. So without water, nation building and progress will not happen. That's the reality of it. However, the challenge really relies on the fact that water is a scarce resource. As such, there are competing interests for water: household consumption, industry, power generation, agriculture, etc. Furthermore, we need to address as well the sustainable use of our water resource. One of our current dilemmas is that the more we make water available at an affordable rate, the more we impact the ability of the next generation to also have access to clean water. So we need to manage our use right now so that we also have in mind the needs of the future generation. Thus, this water challenge aims to address the issue of efficient and effective water use so that we will be able to balance the scarcity as well as the sustainable use of this particular resource. In relation to that, these are the proposed or sample solutions that the water challenge brought forth to the participants. One, water saving devices. Second, water filtration technologies. Third, indigenous technologies. Fourth, prototypes of tools or devices. Fifth, new financial models. And six, mobile apps. So this is the information on our team one. Thank you very much.
Hi, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Hi, thanks, Tian. Thanks to Attorney Ruel, and we'd like to acknowledge all of our participants and our VIPs present here in the conference right now. As for Team 2, it's just mentioned already earlier, Team 2 will be focused more on finding solutions to access for safe sanitations and sanitation facilities across all community segments. To give you some overview on the numbers right now, about 1 in 25 Filipinos are still practicing open defecation right now. And then most of our households, or about 23 out of the 25 Filipino households, doesn't have access to sewerage systems right now. And then lastly, most of our untreated or wastewater are being disposed untreated to the our open or ground water sources. So most of our water systems right now are being contaminated because of the wastewater not being treated right now. So the main challenge for this one is the wastewater collection, conveyance, treatment, and proper disposal as one of our key challenges to overcome. So with the improper management and treatment of wastewater, it also poses serious threats to not only to our public health, but also on the environment as well, as shown by the numbers right now. So it's about 4 million who are still on open defecation, and then about 90% of the Filipino households are still not being serviced by a complete wastewater systems. So this one is posing a lot of contaminations to our environment right now. So we have to protect, as mentioned by Attorney Roel earlier, our water sources are our main sources of water supply right now. So we have to protect those ones right now. So We need to ensure that the contamination and pollution are very minimal right now. So with this Team 2 challenges, there are some solutions that we have already identified for this one. One of which is the innovative toilet products, which can be served to our communities, and then the latrine collection that are currently available in the market that we can use all across the country right now. Fourth is the community pilot projects that can be served as a scale up for other communities. And then the new financing schemes that can be leveraged in order for us to provide sanitation and services. And then lastly, the biogas technologies that are currently being used by other providers and that can also be leveraged as our byproducts for the wastewater. So with your ideas and innovative solutions, we can break through with this challenge and provide access to safely and well-organized services across all community segments and preserve our environment. So that's all for our teams right now. So I turn you over back to Tin.
Thank you so much to Attorney Roel Espiritu and of course to Sir Alan Ortiz. Thank you for sharing our themes with us. Now, I would like to now ask you guys once again to join as participants or endorse other individuals or organizations to the Philippine Water Challenge. Everybody, please listen to the 1-minute animated video to learn more about the application process. Check this out.
Do you have innovative solutions to our country's water and sanitation problems? Are you looking for an opportunity to promote your solutions to a wider audience and potential investors? Then join the Philippine Water Challenge. Here's how you do it. To apply or to nominate someone, go to pdrf.org/Philippine Water Challenge. Accomplish the application template and submit all the necessary information about your solution on or before September 30th, 2021. Once all entries are in, a screening committee will shortlist the best applications based on our evaluation criteria. The top entries shall be sent to the Board of Jurors represented by these organizations. They will judge the entries based on these criteria. Lastly, the winners will showcase their solutions during the award ceremony. The Philippine Water Challenge is here to support ideas and solutions that contribute to the country's goal of universal access to safely managed water supply and sanitation services by 2030. So join now at pdrf.org/Philippine Water Challenge, and together, let us help you expand your solutions to those underserved and unserved Filipinos, one household at a time.
There you go. Now we would like to acknowledge the Philippine Water Challenge organizers. Thank you very much to USAID Philippines through its Safe Water Project. We also have the Philippine Disaster Resilience Foundation, or PDRF. Of course, the Manila Water Company Incorporated, and Maynilad Water Services Incorporated. We would also like to acknowledge the Philippine Water Challenge sponsors, starting, of course, with our platinum sponsor, Coca-Cola Foundation Incorporated, and our gold sponsors, the Embassy of Israel in the Philippines, Smart Communications Incorporated, and Idea Space and Kupo Innovation Hub. Now, the organizers, like the USAID Safe Water Project, the Philippine Disaster Resilience Foundation, Manila Water Company Incorporated, and Maynilad Water Services Incorporated, signed a memorandum of understanding formalizing the partnership, and this happened in June 3, 2021, to launch the Philippine Water Challenge. I would like to introduce PDRF Executive Director Veronica Gabaldon to read the salient points of the MOU while we play the videos of the ceremonial signing with the four parties.
Thank you very much, Tim. Philippine Water Challenge is conceived as a local platform for discovering and recognizing innovations that challenges or address challenges to safety water, and sanitation services, particularly among underserved communities. The parties to the Memorandum of Understanding on the Philippine Water Challenge share the goal of a water-secure future for the country and improved access of households to safe water supply, disaster-stricken communities, and support reconstruction programs. 2013, PDRF was reorganized and intensified as the umbrella organization for the private sector. Maynilad is the water and wastewater service provider for the 17 cities and municipalities that comprise the west zone of the metropolitan Manila area. Maynilad focuses on delivering sustainable water solutions, meeting the needs of customers, caring for shared water resources, and ensuring that the businesses is properly managed from human resources to operations. We also have Manila Water as a publicly listed water and wastewater services company that has presence in the Philippines and other Southeast Asian countries. Founded in 1997 as the water utility concessionaire for the East Zone of the Philippine capital, Manila Water has since expanded its operations to areas in the Philippines through Manila Water Philippine Ventures and has established a presence in Vietnam, Thailand, and Indonesia. Manila Water Total Solutions, another subsidiary, serves as an incubator of water and environment-related solutions. Both Manila Water and Maynilad will share their expertise in water and sanitation to guide the competition process, participate in the evaluation of entries, and mentor winners to improve their solutions. PDRF, Maynilad, Manila Water, and Safe Water will coordinate their respective strengths, expertise, technologies, and resources in ensuring that the objectives of the Philippine Water Challenge are achieved.
Thank you very much, PDRF Executive Director Veronica Gabaldon. Now we would like to welcome PDRF President and Kubo Innovation Hub and Idea Space Foundation Incorporated President, Mr. Rene Butch-Maley.
Thank you. When I was growing up, before taking a shower, I would often have to yell out, "Too big!" or water. The water couldn't reach the second floor of our home if someone else was using it. Things have gotten much better since those early days, but many of our countrymen still do not have a source of safe, potable water or a separate sanitary sewage system. That's why today's Philippine Water Challenge is so important. I'd like to thank USAID, the Embassy of Israel, Manila Water, Maynilad, Coca-Cola Foundation, Smart Communications, Idea Space, Kubo Innovation Hub, and of course, the hardworking PDRF team for their support of this project. Innovation, especially in this area, can change everything and lead to a better quality of life for Filipinos. May this competition be robust, fruitful, and productive so that someday our people can truly enjoy happier and more prosperous lives where water is something we take for granted and not something that we either have too much of, like today, or too little. This competition is a step in that direction, and PDRF is proud to be a convener and part of this great effort. Thank you.
Thank you so much, PDRF President, Mr. Butch Maley, for that. Now, I would like to invite our virtual audience to participate in the related activities of the Philippine Water Challenge scheduled from today until September 2021. Like on July 29, that's today, until September 30, 2021, that is the call for application and registration of solutions. We are going to be having 2 webinars in August and another webinar in September. The screening period and shortlisting of top entries from the 1st to 2nd weeks of October. And then the jury deliberation of winners will be happening from the 3rd to the 4th weeks of October. The notifications of the winners will be in the 1st week of November, and the awarding will be in the 3rd week of November. So everybody, please stay tuned for updates to be posted at the Facebook pages of USAID Philippines, PDRF, Manila Water, and Maynilad. Now, I would like to once again ask the virtual audience to please take screenshots of yourselves and your participation. And you can post your photos on social media, like on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram. And again, I would like to remind everybody to please tag USAID Philippines, PDRF, Manila Water, and Maynilad when you post. And please don't forget to use our official hashtag. That's hashtag WaterChallengePHL. I would like to thank all of the VIPs and, of course, our audience. Thank you so much for joining us today, this beautiful morning, in the virtual launching of the Philippine Water Challenge. Once again, my name is Tin Gamboa. I have been your host for today, and it's been such an informative and enlightening morning, and I know you guys feel the same way. The Philippine Water Challenge is here to support ideas and solutions that contribute to the country's goal of universal access to safely managed water supply and sanitation services by 2030. So now, you can join at pdrf.org/Philippine Water Challenge, and together, let us help you expand your solutions to those underserved, and unserved Filipinos, one household at a time. Thank you so much for joining us today.
The USAID Safe Water Project aims to improve water security in vulnerable communities in the Philippines. By 2024, this partnership will have realized the following changes. Water service providers are serving better more people through improved quality of water supply and sanitation services. Local governments and stakeholders together planning and raising support for water supply and sanitation programs. Government and communities actively work together to monitor and manage watersheds, forest, and water resources for long-term sustainability. Committed private sector partners serve as economic stewards of water resources, and private financing institutions also invest in constructed assets that underpin water security. Finally, water-wise households, informed and efficient water users, claim the right for better services and participate in decision-making towards a water-secure future.
The Philippine Disaster Resilience Foundation is the country's major private sector driver and coordinator for disaster resilience. As an alliance of businesses dedicated to building the disaster risk management capabilities of the private sector in the country, PDRF aims to contribute to the sustainable development and the general welfare of the Filipino people. Since its establishment in 2009, PDRF has worked closely with member companies, government agencies, and other stakeholders in the areas of disaster preparedness, response, and recovery. Today, PDRF continues to pave the way both here and abroad. Through its growing partnerships with member companies and other stakeholders, PDRF becomes one step closer to building a stronger, resilient Philippines.
In a year of crisis and uncertainty, Manila Water rises with every ripple we create, where we focused on modernization for maximum efficiency and responsiveness. Our round-the-clock operations are supported with different platforms for seamless customer service. Manila Water's expansion creates an ocean of synergy, strength, and stability. We continue to develop infrastructure to ensure access to potable and reliable water supply, as well as wastewater services for the growing population. And our sustainability bond becomes the springboard of our collective future. All of this is tied together with the signing of the revised concession agreement. This is Manila Water. And together, we create the ripples that evolve into the waves of the future.
Talagang ang tubig, mahirap ang tubig dito kasi maghihintay ka, yung pag dumarating, ikaw ang mag-asikaso, papantayan mo.
Ako ay nagsimula na wala kami tubig. Naawa po sa mga tao na isang linggo, kuminsan, walang tubig.
Dahil sa tulong pinansyal na ito ng Maynilad sa PDA, na isa katuparan ng proyekto dito sa Talabados.
Sa tulong ng Manilad at TPA, kami ay nagkaroon ng tinatawag na Community Development Fund.
Hanggang ngayon, maayos ang aming lugar. May tubig na kami.
Ang bubon sa tupad na niya sa pa nga may turugban. Nagamantinir na lang sa amon nga tubig nga bisan daw higko ang sa tupad niya kung kisa bala daw ang yan nga tubig gasulod sa may bubon. Di ginabutangan na lang namong chlorine para lang maputi ng tubig kag madula ang yang tina.
Agos is the expression of the commitment of the Coca-Cola Foundation to water stewardship. We do this by bringing water to the communities that do not have water.
Ang po, pagambal nga may tubig ang EDFI, interesado kami kasi kami nga na mapati, kasubong. Pagkatapos, pag kami, hari ng tubig sa amon. Dali, thank you, sa Coca-Cola.
We believe there are infinite ways to make the world better. Infinite legacies. Infinite tomorrows to ask, what difference can we make today? The futures we design. The communities we raise. future we create. The planet we save. We believe that with Smart Infinity's dedicated support and limitless data, calls, and text, we hold the power to keep making the world better forever. It's simple. We believe impact is infinite.
QVO? QVO?
It actually just stands for Kubo, as in the Bahay Kubo. And yes, we do have our very own Bahay Kubo in our office.
Just like the Bahay Kubo, we stand for Bayanihan or teamwork. Kubo is a place where the community can come together to help ideas flourish, showcase Filipino innovation, and build great companies.
Together,
Let's build
the Philippine
Startup Community!
We created Idea Space in 2012 so that the Philippines could take part in this startup revolution.
The startups, all of you, you're the ones who make the magic happen. It's just helped by the Formula One team of these wonderful mentors. They come in and give so much of their personal time